And new this morning, a driver is in custody in Frasier after going 100 miles per hour down Main Street and then trying to run away from police. This happened around 9:40 last night. Police say that the driver was driving 100 miles per hour on Highway 40. When police tried to pull the car over, the driver drove off, tried to make a U-turn, and crashed into a police car behind the Fraser Valley Rec Center. The driver was then arrested, accused of vehicular eluding and reckless driving.
As the demolition of the Return to Nature funeral home in Penrose continues, the Fremont County coroner is confirming 17 bodies have yet to be identified. The EPA is working nonstop as families gather to remember their loved ones. Before the first break yesterday, family members and local officials gathered in a tent in front of the funeral home to honor the victims. The site of the building was surreal for many family members. For some, it was their first time seeing the facility since getting a notification from the FBI.
It wasn't just her bones, it wasn't her ashes, it's her body. Her body was desiccated in this building. I hope I'm doing her proud by being here and representing her, not letting her beautiful self go unnoticed and unrecognized, and that's what I want to remember her as and cherish her as.
The EPA expects the demolition to last 10 days.
Today, the trial of a former Clear Creek deputy charged in the death of Christian Glass picks back up. Prosecutors finished their questioning of CBI agent Derek Graham yesterday. He's the lead investigator in the case. Prosecutors also called Dr. Meredith Frank to the stand. She's a contracted forensic pathologist who performed the autopsy on Glass. Her testimony included analyzing the autopsy results and her ruling that the manner of death was a homicide. Buin is charged with second-degree murder, official misconduct, and reckless endangerment. Christian's mother is expected to be called as a witness sometime this week.
Right now, a repair project in Denver is aiming to repair neighborhoods and the damage done decades ago by laying an interstate through them. Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg visited the Globeville, Elyria, Swansea neighborhoods yesterday, touring work being done in part with federal funds to connect those areas. That includes pedestrian bridges and safer rail crossings. It's part of an effort to undo harm done to communities of color by past infrastructure projects. Next, Kyle Clark asked Buttigieg if he gives thought to harm done to underrepresented communities by projects like highway widening.
Our focus is to make sure that we don't just pave our way out of every problem. Look, sometimes you really do need more highway capacity. That's certainly the case on I-70 and a lot of these high growth areas in the West. But often what you really see is a lack of network connectivity. And if you add better streetscape designs, more transit options, active transportation like the greenways and bikeways that we're adding here, that can actually help with congestion just as much or more than just adding more lanes. We're trying to be holistic about this, look at the big picture and get it right, because we're definitely still living with some of the assumptions that were made in the 50s, 60s, and 70s that sometimes trapped people into a car orientation that actually takes away more options than it provides.
In their full conversation on the Next YouTube channel, Kyle asked Buttigieg whether the Biden administration drastically scaling back its electric vehicle goals is an acknowledgement that the public isn't ready to adopt them as fast as they would like. The information on that clip is at the bottom of your screen.
Well, while you were sleeping, a Senate committee passed a new bill that would hold builders accountable for faulty construction on homes.
Now, as reporter Courtney Yoon joins us live from the state capitol. And Courtney, the bill's sponsors say it would protect homeowners from a lot of costly repairs.
Yeah, that's right. Good morning, Jordan and Corey. Advocates for this bill say it would help better protect homeowners from construction defects. They testified before the Senate Local Government and Housing Committee on Tuesday. Proponents of this bill say it would prevent HOAs and purchase agreements from containing waivers or limitations of rights. They say it would also ensure that buildings have to cover the interest on repair costs. Homeowners say these protections would help make sure they're not on the hook for shoddy construction work, but not everyone agrees that this legislation is the right move.
House Bill 1230 will negatively impact the ability of construction professionals to obtain and afford insurance coverage for multifamily affordable housing. Expanding litigation to address construction defects rather than focusing on ways to address the defects directly will impact consumers for years down the road.
We start noticing our own homes, even while under warranty, all of it under warranty. We were having so many issues because they had rushed through so much. There was actually shoddy work done across the board.
The committee approved the bill 4-3 on Tuesday. It will now head to the Senate floor. Live in Denver, Courtney Yoon, 9 News.
Courtney, thank you.
New this morning, Israel's prime minister is promising to respond to Iran's drone attack that happened earlier this week. 4 U.S. officials tell NBC News they expect Israel's response to be limited and likely involve strikes against Iranian military and Iranian-backed proxies. But they warn those plans could change. The unprecedented Iranian attack included more than 100 ballistic missiles. Another Ivy League school is in congressional crosshairs.
Today, Columbia University's president and board co-chairs are testifying on Capitol Hill. The hearing is about the university's response to anti-Semitism on campus. Testimony on that topic is why the Harvard and UPenn presidents resigned last year. The University of Southern California is also under scrutiny this week. It says its pro-Palestinian valedictorian can't speak at graduation because of security concerns. All of this comes as the Anti-Defamation League shows record numbers of anti-Semitic incidents across the country.
Former President Donald Trump's hush money trial now has 7 jurors seated. They include an oncology nurse, a corporate lawyer, and an English teacher. Before they were seated, jurors went through the questionnaire phase by the district attorney's office and Trump's lawyers. Tomorrow, jury selection will continue until a panel of 12 New Yorkers and 6 alternatives are also selected on top of those 7 jurors who were selected.
New this morning, Google is cracking down on third-party apps that block YouTube ads. The company says viewers who are using third-party apps may experience buffering issues. Users may also see an error message when trying to watch videos. Google says purchasing YouTube Premium may be the only way to escape ads. The tech company started ramping up enforcement on ad blockers last year when it started restricting YouTube video playback for people using those types of software.
Well, today's the pick of the week. There is no doubt about it. Low to mid 70s, increasing clouds this afternoon, but you know what? We'll take it. We're actually going to have a fair bit of cloud cover overhead throughout the day today. That will not stop us from getting into the low to mid 70s. But Rutro, we're going to get some a sharp cold front that moves through after dark tonight. That'll bring us some rain and some snow possible for tomorrow morning. Not a big deal in terms of the rain or snow. It's pretty dry, that next system. It's just going to be kind of cloudy and unsettled. But Erica, that's what we're staring at for the next 3 days. Hey, next week, near 80 next Wednesday.
I'm looking forward to that. Just when I thought I could pack away on my winter stuff, I got to bring a jacket back out, Chris. Right now, we want to get you out the door. A live look from Sky 9 over I-25 in the area of Spear. And it's that time of the morning where we're beginning to see volume build through the metro. But I wouldn't say, knock on wood, any significant delays along this stretch of I-25 just yet.
New this morning, a massive black hole has been spotted less than 2,000 light years away. That makes it the second closest known black hole to Earth. Astronomers discovered the so-called sleeping giant while coming through observations from the European Space Agency. It has a mass nearly 33 times that of our sun and is the largest known stellar black hole in the Milky Way galaxy.